Alright, welcome everyone with Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Castlevania, Season 4, Episode 2. We got our three main boys and characters in the previous episode, but now, what about all the scheming people with the armies and the prisoners and
all these side characters that were left in a very specific
situation?
Advent of their rise, if you will. They were all about to crest into very high places, but for now I feel like we're kind of building things back up slowly, kind of leaving them in the sidelines for now, because there has been a time skip.
There has.
So given that the time skip is there, it might not make sense to come back to them until their conflicts are like happening, and then we can just see the results of whatever they've done in that
we just
6 weeks.
Start with a battle. You know, it's like, all right, Isaac has already turned everybody. He takes them through the portal. You know,
Isaac's
glass thing,
transported through, and it's just
hell.
Yeah, that would be nuts. There does seem to be a lot of rituals going along with lost vampires who don't know their way, and yet they are all singularly focused on bringing back Dracula, it seems. Which is weird because, well, while there were a whole bunch of, underworld beings that split off after the ritual and stuff, let a whole bunch of them out and things like that. The fact that they would be unified in purpose but not actually working together feels curious.
And what's Isaac going to do when he finds out about the people that are trying this? Is he going to be like, oh, that's a good idea? Or,
come to my side? Or
oh, sure, that too.
He just starts bringing them in. Although they might have problems with working with a human who would be the
He's
leader.
Handled vampires before.
That's true. That's true.
Rest in peace, Godbrand.
Godbrand, he was taken from us far too soon.
Far too soon.
There's so much about this world where it's all fucked right now. That Godbrand would just be great to have.
Exactly. Imagine that random vampire dude, Farley or whatever his name was. That was spying on Trevor and Sypha. Imagine if that was just Godbrand. And he's just like, finally, I don't have to drink fucking pig's blood. It's like, oh no.
Would he actually be comfortable enough with just being quiet and spying on them,
No, but that's why it'd be perfect, because that guy wasn't being quiet either. He was talking very loudly.
That's true. Yes, indeed.
So,
but y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, that's interesting. His hands kind of held together in the back, but they're not clasped.
Right.
It's like he's chained and handcuffed, but he's not. But they're not visible handcuffs,
Yep.
Oh, that bird is free. This is probably his favorite place in the castle.
It is a pretty awesome library.
That's probably the most interesting thing about this world. Is that because of the idea of technology being, advanced because of vampires, other dimensions where we just saw Australia and Atlantis and stuff like that.
Right. City of Gold.
The books could be theoretically the most interesting thing in this entire world, because you could be like, wait, who wrote that shit down, though?
Exactly.
Water? No shot. Wait. That had a fire alchemical symbol on it. Is my man setting up a bunch of explosives everywhere?
Maybe?
No way.
Seems you will have to identify and secure the precise location of his death. By which I mean...
the
exact spot on the floor.
And
tell Varney there is definitely evidence of a transmission mirror in the possession of the court at Targoviste. I'm looking to track down more information. From Carmilla's private stock. Now, show me the map of hell you told me about. Or I'll tell her what you've been doing with her shoes. Evening. Fuck.
You broke it.
Half these billets are bad. Your vampire blacksmiths didn't follow my specifications.
Striga and Morana have been away for weeks, surveying the territories, to be honest.
Okay.
Carmilla is drawing maps.
Yeah.
The time when diplomacy was required for anything has passed.
So you're bored?
Yep.
No. You're worried.
Shush. Our lives have entered a new phase. Diplomacy and negotiations, these are things of the past now.
Which makes you a thing of the past, and that is bothering you.
Look, Carmella's plan buys us security for hundreds of years. But I will never be comfortable with the idea that the best way to end war is to kill most of the people. Why can't you just wave your fingers like a wizard to raise the dead or whatever?
The Forge Master works through an instrument.
Yeah.
And the magic has to be focused through an instrument, like breath being pushed through a flute.
This isn't getting any better.
I need the bloody hammer. Is that better?
So use a bloody hammer. There must be 1,000 bloody hammers around here.
No, it's got to be special.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when you blow
exactly.
it, nothing comes out.
Good God, woman.
Bored, and it's fun to horrify you. Indulge me. Seriously, you supposedly been making your magic hammer for weeks. Could you make something
Yeah,
simpler?
he's stalling.
Stick or a coin or something?
We all use different things. Isaac used a knife.
That's
A
right.
hammer works better for me.
He actually used a coin.
But it needs to be perfect, or nothing will come out of the end.
Ugh, you're disgusting.
And now,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
disgusting
Uh-huh.
'cause he went in on her dick jokes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Has Hector made his fucking hammer yet?
He's still working on it.
He's stalling.
Yeah.
He's too simple for that.
No.
No.
You mistake that puppy thing for being placid and stupid. He can kill.
He tried. Once.
Nope.
It was half-hearted at best.
Nope. You weren't there, Lenore.
See? I'm just warning you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, would Dracula have kept him around in his own castle if he were that dangerous?
But I'm sure it was full of interesting and wonderful things.
Then we cut
I'm
over to
compelled to
Alucard.
point out that you already have a nice castle. Why would you want his?
Because I take things away from stupid, evil old men.
You could just make new things.
Why would I waste my time when I can
It's
just
not the
take
same.
whatever I want and then kill whoever had them? From here to Brayla. That
Okay.
land and those villages and towns belong to old men. All of them. And I'm going to take them.
And will you be happy when you have all that?
Just look at this. Do you know how many regional vampire rulers died at Brayla?
Oh
I
shit.
didn't know I had to count them.
All these regions without direct vampire rule. Just waiting for someone to take control.
Surely their underlings will raise someone up into command.
Unless we were there first.
Why would we do that?
This sweet little girl act doesn't work on me, Lenore. Try again.
I really don't know. I never thought of anything that big before.
Start.
Answer my question first. Will you be happy when you have all this?
The first part of my life was men taking things from me. And then I took their lives. And their things. And their homes. What did the rest of the vampire world say? Bloody women, they said. Let them die, they said. So I'm going to take everything from everybody. I was in Dracula's castle. I went there to see what I could get out of it. What I found was him and his people just fucking it up. And I saw right there that I could take the world away from him and have it for myself. The world, Lenore. Will I be happy when I've done that? I don't know.
Yep. You have no
That's
idea.
worth a shot.
I don't know if I even care. Having everything will be enough. Having the world. And all of them being dead.
You've said that a
Is
couple
this
times.
what it was all for?
What on earth did you think this was all about?
Besides, he doesn't need an army for after he,
For one night.
you know, destroys the castle.
It's even got an attractive window
Oh.
in the roof.
Perfect.
The skylight.
Sleeping under starlight.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Hey.
Oh, he's not being subtle. Okay.
Oh, he's got friends. That's why.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Here we go again.
Try not to burn the barn down while we're in it.
I did that one time.
One time was enough.
It had a giant spider in it.
Yeah, then burn it all. Yeah, fucking burn it.
Giant!
It was 10 feet tall.
That's giant. Yeah.
So what? 8 feet tall isn't giant?
Fuck me. These bastards again.
They're very good, aren't they?
They're annoying.
You're tired, buddy.
Yeah.
Gotta snap to it.
Needs that rest.
Oh.
All right, fighting back to back.
Are you sure you don't want me to set fire to things?
Yep.
You know.
It might be an option now.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Oh, that was awesome.
Okay.
That was some cool choreography there. Yep. Improvisation. Let's go, baby. Oh, I love that tag team there. Yeah. Shit.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa. Yep, throw it. Yeah, get the wing. It's easy to. Hey, we'll use it. Yeah. The environment being a huge part of everything there. Yeah. Go deep.
We're lucky the vampires aren't doing anything right now.
Oh, not enough.
Okay.
Hell yeah. These ones are tough. Oh, he's dead.
All right. Well,
Yep.
that's.
I think only one of them is going to
See,
survive.
this is why you need
this
special
ordeal.
hammers.
It's a very impractical weapon.
Yep, but very cool.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, that was perfect.
If you ever think about like how you would actually fight with a scythe, it's very awkward.
It'd be terrible.
It's like the worst.
that,
It's
yeah.
like one of the worst weapons. Get my whip.
All right.
Oh, boom. I like that.
Awesome.
Look at that teamwork. You get the one on the ground, I get the one in the air. There we go.
Yep.
The ruling family of Targoviste survived
All
Dracula's
right.
first assault.
Okay.
But later the vampires and night creatures came, and it was safer to move them into the catacombs under the city.
I'm
Nice.
amazed anyone's still alive.
Nice.
Let alone the royal
All right.
family. I'm sorry about your people.
We are grateful for your aid.
They died for the court.
Well, they did die. They were your friends, were they not?
We have been following signs of some plot.
Lost so many people, it's hard to care.
Right.
There's a nest of vampires in the city who wish it. They are trying to find the underground court to ransack its many magical treasures for their cause. Oh, shit.
Oh, we're all under the catacombs and
Well,
stuff.
she was interesting.
You mean a little crazy?
Yes.
Oh, yes. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Just searching
Oh,
them.
I know you're not robbing the dead.
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Heck?
Yeah, I thought I saw
And I've
something
seen
like a
enough glowing
gem.
rocks for a while. They lead to trouble.
Quite right, too. Why invite trouble? We never do that.
Huh.
Nice.
All right, Hector. He's wandering the castle, placing little fire bombs, maybe little fire runes for some kind of magic or something.
I love it.
He's scheming. He's prepping. He's been stalling.
Because
this is gonna be juicy.
Because your captors have made the assumption that, well, you can't do anything to them because they magically got you and all that stuff.
Yep.
So, whatever, they don't have to oversee you at all.
Right.
That's a bit of a whoopsie, like that's gonna bite them in the butt pretty soon.
And Lenore has been probably watching over him quite a bit, but there's probably specific times during the day, especially when they're asleep, literally because they're vampires.
And he's not.
So, yeah. And that's the other thing. I like the idea that when she greeted him and said good evening, and he goes good morning. There's that little bit of defiance in there where it's the no. I am not in your world.
Right.
I'm in my own world, and you can call it whatever you want, but it is morning.
Right.
It's the kind of thing of the person basically kind of biting out the technicality on something when someone that they are like really kind of frustrated with says something that's like slightly off, and it's like, oh, okay, Hector, yeah, you're not a prisoner, or at least you don't want to think of yourself as a prisoner, even though he is kind of a prisoner.
He is a prisoner, but also he's got a pretty good life. Like, because they feel secure about the fact that he can't do anything, he can just go to that library and hang out and open the curtains and, you know, like...
The book fiend in me would go nuts in this world.
Absolutely.
This world is crazy.
Like even if I got all the firebomb things, because I get the feeling I know what he's going to do. I actually did the same thing in a D&D campaign, and it was wonderful, and it just erased an entire encounter that the DM had planned. And
the funny thing is, I don't think you're talking about mine.
No. It was in a game where I was playing like an alchemist that was specific. An alchemist used bombs.
Pathfinder,
Pathfinder, and I was specifically set up to be like a siege engineer. And then they were like, yes, there's a vampire mansion.
Oh my god!
And I'm
it's literally the same.
I'm
thing,
like,
then.
Cool. So load-bearing pillars, you know, like I'm an engineer. I would be able to find all of that stuff. Yeah. I'm sneaky. I plant bombs. Whole thing collapses, and it was just like
during the day.
Yeah. And it was just okay. Well, there's the encounter. You know.
Nice.
Yep. But so I'm very much excited for Hector to do that. But at the same time,
agency, but he has to be careful.
He's got to be careful, and there's a lot of cool books there. You know,
there's a lot of good stuff there. You know, I could very easily see him with his mirror and his dealings with other vampires who he is manipulating in such a way so that they do what he says.
Probably to get him the stuff for like the, you know, explosives or whatever.
Maybe. The kind of idea that I kind of have there is that he is more needing those that can leave the castle basically to be ready for him to be going out there, but he cannot tell them what he's actually doing, because all they would have to do is just blab it to a guard and be like, hey, he's plotting. Do I get some favor with the vampire queens if that's right?
And then he just hopes that the dirt that he has on them is enough to and they're vampires, so they're not going to think too much of him anyways.
Not really.
You know, like
I love that one of them is into like
what you were doing with her shoes. It's like, wait,
what? Yeah. But it's like, oh yeah, he's sniffing and huffing the foot sweat, and it's like that's hilarious. Well,
and vampires probably don't even sweat. Like,
no, I mean just the idea that like the vampire queens are so unattainable.
Exactly.
These simps are out there just huffing the shoes just to get what little they can.
Yep. They got their
so
foot
funny.
fetish, and you know, Tarantino isn't making enough movies. So
that's true.
Yep. Yeah. There you go.
There you go. But his hammer. It's interesting because he did mention the coin.
Yeah, like she specifically was like, but couldn't you have like a coin or something? And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. The hammer was technically just the thing that he put the coins on. You know, Yeah, that's a nice way to like reward the audience for remembering things from way back, in the show.
It's almost like the things that are being put into the cracks of the castle in specific spots are like the coins that he would channel magic through. Almost like those things could then end up getting lit once his hammer is ready.
Well, and also like just the idea of there being all these cracks around the castle.
Okay. Shows that that's where the stress bearing of the castle is.
Sure.
So they are load-bearing pillars, probably.
And this is an old castle and everything, and I can't imagine that vampires do that much upkeep, especially if there aren't very many of them or whatever. If humans are most of the time the ones that do the building.
Yeah, they actually are probably pretty low maintenance when it comes to running the castle, because there's probably not too many times that they occupy certain parts of the castle, thus reducing wear and tear. So,
But, so there's probably a lot of cracks that are in places, but also I would not be surprised if during the day when most of the vampires are asleep, he just does something to maybe make a little bit of a crack that'll look natural, leave it there for, a week, right?
He's only been here a few weeks. I don't think he's making any of these cracks. I think he is inspecting the castle as it's old, and he's looking for the opportunities that he can find there.
Sure,
because
that is the
making cracks
answer.
like that also would be the things that would be noticed more by the guards rather than this crack's been here for 50 years,
Sure.
It's not there's nothing new about it.
It's not that there are a bunch of cracks showing up, over the course of a few weeks, because that's one of the other things that I think is kind of interesting about, I don't know how much it was intended, but it was a vibe that I got in that the difference of the ways that vampires versus humans think about things, because vampires live forever.
Right.
Right? So, like, the idea of Carmilla being so stuck in the past, like, not just the, I got this castle from, you know, an evil old man, right? And I quite enjoyed that, and now I've got a bit of a taste for it.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
her continuing to harp on it, like, it's this, like the skipping track in
It's
her
this
head.
droning drum beat that's just going on and
just
on
going on
and
and on, and how kind of short-sighted that is, and how much it seems like you're just a stubborn old lady, you know, right? And Lenore's sort of like, oh, wait, hold on, that really? Like, okay, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
This is a cycle I don't know if I want to be a part of, because the way that you run things is kind of brutal.
Yeah.
And maybe Lenore has always kind of wanted to find some way to integrate with humans, and Hector is living out a little bit of her fantasy with that, where it's a way that she can kind of play with a human pet, but it's hey, he's docile and he's cute, so like I kind of get to make dick jokes with him, like
exactly,
like it's fun. He's obviously not like in love with me, but you know, we could get there. Get there, and then I could make him into a vampire, and you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's the side of Lenore that we got to see. Yeah, it might not be. It might not be. But the side of Lenore that we got to see in this world, in this episode, was something that it feels like a callback to the version of Lenore that I got the feeling we were seeing in the previous season, that I liked a lot. In the very beginning, and that I wished it was leaned into more.
But the story went in a different direction.
The story went in a different direction, and it's understandable because she didn't have actual security, right? Now she feels she does, so that could be a reason for why then that would, you know, the thing that was a lie, but not really, it was like 95% the truth, you know, now she can actually just be like, okay, yeah, I can, you know.
I'm a little bit more open with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I also think there could be a really cool perspective here where they flip the script and he starts convincing her that his idea is actually a good one.
Right.
And he basically then starts testing to see if she wants to join him in the let's get rid of Carmilla strat.
Because she's a problem, maybe.
And that could be an interesting way to maybe have Lenore survive this, and then it's Hector and Lenore actually at each other's beck and call, but then it's the, you know, I don't want to kill you, Lenore, but I now have this castle in the palm of my hand, and yet if we want this to be a thing, I'm going to need this removed, and if you do, I will, you know, I will stay with you. I see potential here, and then he just fucking kills her, you know.
I got this image in my head when you were saying that of he's already detonated the load-bearing like pillars of the castle or whatever. The castle has basically collapsed, but there's like still bits and pieces left. And Lenore,
him in the light and her in the shadow.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And she's like staying back there in like, you know, hiding underneath a tiny bit of wall that's still up or whatever, right? So that she can stay not in the daylight, not die, right? And then he's just sort of talking to her, right? And and the role is totally reversed and everything, and yeah. Although the ring's still a problem. Yeah, the ring is a problem. But that's what the explosives can handle, because if you take them all out at once, then, you know, maybe they don't get the opportunity to use it.
Yeah. But with on the other side of things here, we've got Treffy and Sypha.
Indeed.
And they find a barn that looks like a good place to sleep, and they end up walking into a trap for someone else, which was confirmed by not just the vampires, but also by them being like, oh, no.
That was for us.
That was for us. We were led here, or we were chased here, or something.
Somehow
we don't know why they were brought here specifically, but maybe this is a spot that is like a place that they frequent when they make trips outside of the catacombs.
Sure.
Who knows? But the way the other vampires were like these two again?
Right.
Like, shit. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
And that maybe gives a little bit of context as to why they weren't immediately dropping in, because they were like, oh no, we planned for the other three to be here. Who are these two people?
And
I guess we kill them so our trap
we'll kill
doesn't
them
get ruined.
without like, you know, risking anything from ourselves in case
they probably
they're
could
badasses.
see he had a holy blessed weapon.
Sure,
so they
that
were also
too.
like, nah, that's a one-hit kill thing. I don't want to risk that.
Well, and also, if we know 3 more are going to be getting here soon, we don't necessarily want to engage them and get distracted. You know, like there's, I very much like that as a reason for why the antagonistic forces in this situation would hold back, right?
They're not being cowardly, they're being smart. It's the kind of thing where it's frustrating how many times in these fantasy series the protagonists build literally a reputation for being known for monster slaying, and then the monsters show up and are like, but you have never faced me before, I'll kill you.
I'll kill you, but I'll only half try. You know, like,
right. And there's no attachment that these vampires have to the night creatures.
Nope.
So just go get more, come back another time.
Yep. But then
actually get to ambush them.
But then also, because of the, that situation still does make us take these vampires less seriously, right? Because
they don't think that they can handle Trevor and Sypha.
Exactly. So they don't feel like that much of a threat to us. But there's also these people that show up and it's like, hey, you helped us, but then also you seem really like sussy bakas, sorry, but we also had some trust. We have some trust issues because of what happened in the last season.
3, yeah.
And that was someone who seemed kind of all right, They
seemed perfectly normal for this world. But for our main 2 characters here, no. Yeah. I don't feel like there's anything really worth going there for other than if you want to yoink their magical artifacts that they were talking about.
And let's be real. They definitely want their stuff.
They want their stuff.
And yes, sure. I was intentional about making that comparison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That would be really fun to have our main 2 characters kind of have like a final season powerful weapon upgrade, because that's totally what this is.
Oh yeah. Yep. If anything, video game mechanics in there somehow.
If anything, it feels almost painfully awkward the way this character kind of shoehorned into the story and was like, yeah, come join us, but you have to do a side quest for me first. And I'm like, oh god, all right, it's Taka 2.0, here we go. Like all right, sure. Let's see. Let's hold out some hope that it's a little bit better.
Right.
Because I think they're just trying to blend the 2 storylines of season 3 into one, where it's we're not going to go to a nice place. We're going to a place that's kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not that bad of people. But 2, one of them there is a needy one that wants you there for their side questy stuff, because they're...
But also,
see how strong you are.
Something that just helps this a lot over the Taka and Sumi situation is that with the Taka and Sumi situation, there wasn't any external conflict. Mm-hmm. So, where was the story? Oh, I guess we can't trust these people, and then, all right. But then, the only real conflict was like at the very end of the season. Whereas with this, we have potentially 2 antagonistic forces, and both of them could be tied to groups, because there's the 2 vampires and whatever servants they have, and then there's this person who is tied to an organization that totally isn't bad or anything, so that's, and then we have our two bumblefucks that are going in and throughout that, and that all kinds of chaos could happen as a result of this.
For sure.
But,
they went down a little bit into a cellar in Targoviste, and there were a bunch of dead guys in blue, like the guys that came through here. Mm-hmm. And they took what looked like, theoretically, was a Forge Master's knife. And,
it did seem like
he put that into his wrist guard there.
Right, like it could just be a magical +2 knife or whatever, and so it looks really nice, But yeah, so far the magical devices that have been found have mechanical benefits that they confer, not just being especially sharp.
Well, not only that, he didn't use it here.
He didn't. That's true.
There was a point where Trevor, this is something I was literally thinking about the whole time. I was like, Trevor is out of weapons at multiple points in this fight.
When is he going to pull out the knife?
And he never pulled out the knife, which means I think he knows it's not for killing night creatures.
Yeah,
it's for making them.
And I could definitely see it being something where, because he's a Belmont, he just looks at it. He's like, I'm definitely taking this. I'm not going to say
I know what it is.
To Sypha or whatever.
Yep.
I'm going to specifically hide it.
Yep.
And then just keep that around.
If I need it, it'll be there.
And why was that here?
Why was that in the first episode of the season, too?
Well, sure. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
It's literally Chekhov's weapon of sorts, Chekhov's gun, but for, totally not a Forge Master's blade.
Right.
Which, again, this episode kind of brought into the idea of a Forge Master's focus, if you will, can literally be anything.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. All that conversation with Hector of like, hey, why isn't your focus, what's the problem with your hammer? Are you having
trouble getting stuff to come out after
right, exactly.
Stroke is so hard,
Yep. Oh, the stuff isn't hard enough for you. I see. Yeah. That is a great set of jokes and everything, and a setup that Hector is stalling. But it can also be exposition for the world building and stuff, so
to
that
remind
way,
the audience of like,
how this shit works, so that way when
bring it up later.
Bring it up later with Trevor. Yeah, that. Yeah, I like that idea.
But then he's not a Forge Master, so
does the suit make the man, or does the Yeah.
So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about the show, about animated shows in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, or Semblance of Sanity, I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.